Welcome to another episode of the Bearded Podcast with me, Cody. I got another guest that's been here before, Adam Upton, and this is kind of a on the rip, like whatever we want to talk about today, tater chip.
Yeah.
That was so corny.
Yeah, we try to come up with what we going to talk about.
I know.
don't know. What we going to talk about?
Just, we riff at work, so
yeah.
what's been new in your world today?
Man, today I got up this morning, got up at about 3:45, and my dad...
Too early for me.
Yeah, right. I like to get up early on Saturdays and get out in nature, go walk, and my dad has just had a quadruple bypass about a month ago, and he's recovering good. Matter of fact, this is crazy. He went to an update appointment and at his cardiologist, and he said that when they were in there, he had all four main arteries blocked but his heart showed no sign of heart disease.
That's great.
I don't know how that can happen, but I'm not a doctor. Yeah. But yeah, no heart disease. So that side of the family, the genetics are, I guess, really robust because he eats whatever he wants to. And
Me too.
he's been a truck driver, for all these years. And
Crappy diet.
yeah, and then he had to have a quadruple bypass, but yet there was no heart disease. And he's recovering. Like, he's supposed to go back. I think he said going back to work like at the end of this month.
Really?
I thought it was like a 3 or 4 or 5 month recovery.
I don't think, he had open heart surgery?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I know somebody, I don't remember who it was, it's somebody I'm close to, they just had a massive, not a heart attack, but massive heart surgery. They had 80 or 90% blockage, and they went in with stents and pulled it all out. And
Yeah.
they were back to work 2 days.
Yeah, stents, a whole other story. Yeah, that's like kind of like, but full blown, they take the vein out of your leg and open heart. Yeah. That's what my dad had, and that was the same surgery my mom didn't survive.
Oh,
technically she survived, but she had during the surgery she had strokes. And well, what they do is they go in and they do a heart cath first. They go in to see what's going on, and with my mom, they thought she only needed a triple bypass. We'll kind of find out she needed a quadruple bypass. And so they did a triple, and when they closed her back up, when it, I guess, come back in, the one that was blocked, it blew it out the right side of her heart failed because they didn't catch that. And yeah, so it was pretty scary, him going into it. I knew he got a bad EKG, and then he's like, I got to go have a heart cath done. And we had just went up to Buffalo River the day after we come back. And his girlfriend called me and was like, I don't know how much, your dad's going to tell you boys, but he's got to have a quadruple bypass. Everything's blocked. All four are blocked. And we're like, well, when? Like, maybe tomorrow. And it's like, what? It's out of nowhere. Yeah. End up being 2 days later. But I'd never seen that man like nervous or scared in my life. But in that room with him before he went up, he looked different. You can see in his eyes. You can't hide that. I can't imagine. That's scary stuff. But yeah. But I brought him up because he needs to get to moving, and so I challenged him Wednesday. I sent him a text, and I was like, "Got a challenge for you. 5 o'clock Saturday morning. I'm gonna come pick you up, and we're gonna go walking." And he said, "Oh, okay, sounds good." And I thought, okay, so we'll see. So this morning, yesterday, I texted him. I said, "No excuses. 5 a.m. tomorrow." He said, "I thought it was p.m." I said, "No, we walking with the sun come up, And so I did. I texted him this morning about 4:15, and he's like, "I'm waiting on you." I was like, "All right, let's go." So I picked him up. We got there. It was still dark, and got the flashlight out on the phone. Went walking trails, and he got to moving, man. He got to moving and sweating. He didn't get to huffing and puffing because I'm watching him, making sure and
keeping it slow.
Yeah, keep it. Yeah, nice and slow. But even nice and slow, he hadn't been at work and went through major surgery and all that. So, but he did good. We got back to the car and give him a ride home, and yeah, it went good. That went good. So I did that today. Went back to the house. We was gonna go grocery shopping before I come into this. I thought, well, I don't know how long it's gonna take. Let's just go afterwards. You know. So. That's it. And little brother's coming over today with his daughter.
Oh yeah.
Yep, his daughter Lily.
Gonna hang out.
My niece. Yeah, gonna hang out.
Cook out.
Well, it's going to be raining, storming. So
is it? It's supposed to?
Yeah,
oh,
supposed to. So I can't light the grill up, but
everything in my service truck is out on the bed of it right now. And when I pulled up, I was like, it is a little dark.
Are you serious?
My wife. Yeah, because I was trying to find some brad nails. We're doing some I built some shelves. I am not a carpenter, but I'm building some shelves in our pantry, and I made it to where they're floating shelves. They look slick,
right?
But I couldn't find my brad nails that I know I bought and couldn't find them.
Don't you hate that?
So I tore my whole truck apart. I'm like, I'm going to find it, which I've needed to do it anyways, because you've seen the back seat of my work truck. It's just piled up. And I buy everything to organize it all.
Yeah.
But when it's hot, I'm like, man, I don't work in this crap. If I don't get paid to work in it, I'm not wanting to be in it.
Right.
And so that made me, okay, I got to get this going.
Yeah.
I got to look for something. So now I'm going to go back, organize everything. It'll stay like that for a month, and then it'll be back.
Right.
Earlier, when you was talking about your mom, by the way, and I smiled. It wasn't because I was smiling about your mom.
Oh, no, man.
I was like, I don't know what to do with my hands. And I looked up at the camera. I'm like, so I'm not insensitive, even though everybody thinks I am. But no, when you did it, I smiled and I looked up and I was like, I don't know what to do. So
that's funny. No, I didn't even pick up on it, man. I just kept rolling. But I guess we threw out some topics out there. Talk about what about childhood, man? What about growing up?
Let's do it.
What it was like. So you gonna do an interview style, or we just want to just throw it out there?
However you want to do it. It's just an open forum today.
All right. So let's see. I might ask you questions.
Ask me.
All right, Cody Wood. Where'd you grow up?
DeSoto County. I grew up I grew up in a trailer park, DeSoto Woods Trailer Park, and that was home for the majority of my childhood. I mean, I lived everywhere else. Like, I've lived in Myrtle Beach, lived in Florida for a little while. That was in my teens whenever we were doing I guess you wouldn't say I was living there, but I was there for 5 months working. Right. So when I quit school like an idiot.
Yeah.
What about you? You grew up in Nutbush.
No, I grew up in Parkway Village.
Parkway
Village, man. To those who not real familiar, it's if you remember the Mall of Memphis, which is kind of a stretch nowadays. That's kind of a stretch back. Yeah. You know, I talk to a lot of young folks now. I'm like, remember where the Mall of Memphis was? They're like, nah.
Tag. I know where it was at. Tag.
Yeah. That's what it is now. Tag Truck Center, right? So I grew up about a mile from the Mall of Memphis and lived over there till 2009.
There used to be an ice rink and ice rink and a carousel in there, didn't it? Or is the carousel Germantown?
Carousel was a Hickory Ridge Mall.
Okay, yeah.
Hickory Ridge, now Winchester. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I spent a lot of time in there too. I'm gonna tell you, Winchester, because we were close to like Winchester and Lamar. Like we wouldn't live that far from there. So that whole Winchester strip, that was Mama's shopping strip right there. So when they put that Kmart way on down Winchester on the other side of what's that? Riverdale.
Yeah.
Yeah, but they Kmart, Mama stayed at that. And then they opened the Malco Majestic movie theater out there. The Majestic. And that was when me and Aaron, my older brother, got just old enough, Mom would drop us off there by ourselves. And I mean, this is back, this is probably, 99, 2000, like that. And out that way was better than back our way. Yeah. And so she would drop us off and we go to the matinee, $5, and like $10 popcorn for both of us, and she'd go over there to Kmart and do her shopping, could pick us up later and stuff. But that was my first little taste of freedom. When I smell popcorn to this day, like movie theater popcorn, when I smell that, it takes me right back. And that's kind of odd because me and my wife now, we've been together 23 years, so we were middle school, and we go to the movies all the time. We were 14, 15, 16. We stayed at the movies. We go spend the whole day. I go spend my whole little Kroger paycheck at the movies, and so you would think I would associate that more with time with her when we was young, but no, it was that first taste of freedom with my older brother, and I'm just right back in it, and I ain't been to the movies much lately, man.
We don't go either. We go. I think the last movie. I'd be lying to you if I told you what last movie we went to. It was just we were driving down Goodman, and I was like, let's pull in here. And we had a couple hours to kill, and don't even know what movie we saw.
I've never done that. I've never went to the movies on a whim. Like, just driving around, let's pull in here and go to the movies. I've never done that.
You ever been to Topgolf?
No.
We went to Nashville to go back to school shopping for my daughter. My stepbrother lives in Nashville, and Topgolf's not far from him. We went to Nashville. That one of them evenings we went to Topgolf. I used to be decent at golf. Never was great.
Right.
But I could hit the ball. Bro, I suck. I suck. We went to Nashville and played, and I didn't do bad from not hitting the ball for a couple of years. Then he came into town last weekend, which is the following weekend. He's like, you want to go back to Topgolf in Memphis? And I was like, yeah, let's go. Which we had a softball party. They got canceled. Nobody could show up. We had 3 girls that was going to show up to the party, so we just canceled the party. And I was like, yeah, I'm free tonight. Let's go.
Yeah.
My brother can't play golf. And then his brother-in-law, Jack, he is a hillbilly.
Yeah.
But that joker can drive a ball. We started calling him Hillbilly, Happy Gilmore.
Oh,
Hillbilly Gilmore. Because nothing about his stance was legit. Like, it was goofy-footed, off the wall.
Yeah.
He'd hit the ball and he'd step back, but that ball would just go straight and high. And I'm like, nothing about that makes sense. I'm up there getting prepped up, my arms, my posture, everything, keeping my hips, and then bing, and just like
you thought he was gonna pull a John Daly.
Couldn't do it. I'm fat like John Daly without the mullet, but I ain't got it.
That guy's kind of an anomaly, man. If you think about it, like
he is.
Yeah, he really is.
I drink 5 gallons of soda. There used to be Coke, now it's Diet Coke.
Yeah, smoking cigarettes out there and everything.
Yep.
And just getting it. I ain't never been big into golf or anything like that.
It's really fun and it's really aggravating at the same time.
I was captain of the bowling team in high school. I bowled. I was a bowler.
We did go bowling on a whim.
On a whim.
We were in Snowden picking up stuff for softball. I was like, you know what? I'm going bowling. My wife's like, we're not going bowling. I'm like, well, I'm going bowling. Either you can sit here and watch me bowl or you can bowl. We ended up having fun. We bowled for like an hour and a half.
Yeah, you used to, like stuff like that used to be so affordable.
Yeah, it's not now.
No. If you're taking the wife and kids to the movies, that's $100 plus easy.
Yeah,
easy. Same with bowling. It's up there.
I bought 3 steaks last night and 8 hamburgers, $210. Now it's good. It's
right.
Really good.
We get some ribeyes.
Yeah, I got 3 ribeyes.
Yeah.
Nah, it's expensive.
Yeah. I used to throw down big 2021, 22. I mean, summer, everybody come over and have all my grills lit. And, I wouldn't even care. I'd go, back then you could drop 200 or 300 and feed 10, 15 people, and that's beer and everything. And now, no. Last time I attempted to do that, about 400 or 500, and I was like, nah, I gotta.
Yeah, you gotta stop. You gotta cut way back.
Right, we might all start having to, because I like everybody's coming over and just showing up and not having to worry about nothing, just have a good time. But I'm like, man, this stuff's good. I'm glad the UFC went to Paramount, because it used to be all the food and beer and stuff, and then you had
$50 or $100.
Oh man, it was like 85 last time before they swapped it over to Paramount, and now you can just watch all of them. Just throw it on Paramount. Everybody just throwing in for some food. And that's cool. But I grew up in Parkway Village till 2009, and then moved out mom and daddy's house, and me and Aaron and my girlfriend, who's my wife now, we rented a house in East Memphis and lived there for a year. And she started school, and then then we moved. Me and my wife moved downtown, because downtown was closer to where we worked. We both worked at the same place, and she was in school. She was a Tennessee Tech, gonna be a dental assistant, and we lived down there for a year. And it was struggle bus, It was hand to mouth, If I was isolated, man, from my whole family and friends and everything, except for the weekends. So, because she would go to school in the morning, we'd work overnight, and then we had one pickup truck. Mm-hmm. She'd take it and leave work, and I'd get a ride from a buddy of mine back to my building, my apartment, And I'd be there by myself. But it was nice. Like, it was nice, especially for my age. I was 21.
Downtown,
7th floor, had a balcony. It overlooked the medical district. One side of the building overlooked Poplar, and the other side overlooked the medical district.
Yeah.
Poplar side was cool because you could see the bridge and the pyramid. But you also, there's Poplar Avenue and all the riffraff that happens right there. So, and on the other side, it was just all medical. But what's cool was Le Bonheur is right across the street.
Yeah.
And so, and this apartment I had a pool on the roof, heated pool on the roof. So it felt high dollar. Like it really did, you know.
Fancy.
But it felt that way. And so what would you be on that roof? And if a helicopter had to do a landing, I mean, they had to, right on top of you. I mean, they'd be right there on top of you. And then you could see the fireworks from the Redbirds games from the roof. So it was cool and it was entertaining and nice to have. You know, it was a good experience. I'm glad I did it, you know. And I had a lot of time to myself, you know. So I'd sit on my balcony and play guitar, and I was broke, so I'd get me like a 40 of Ice House beer.
$1.
Oh, yeah. And just feel miserable the next day. Oh, I got a bad headache and right gut nasty. Oh, man. It was, I couldn't these days. But it was a good experience. And then after that, we moved back actually to the house I grew up in and rented that from my parents. They had moved out to move in with my grandma. She got old enough she needed somebody to live with her. And so we lived in that house on Southbridge, rented it for a year, and my wife ended up we got pregnant. So she got pregnant, and we moved again to a house on Danville and then Capri, which is in Memphis, and then we had to get out of Memphis completely. And so it was me and my wife and my newborn and Aaron, and we moved down to Olive Branch.
Aaron was living with y'all too?
Yeah. We moved down here to the Vineyards. Yeah, the Vineyards. Had a 3-bedroom apartment.
That had just opened up probably then.
I don't know how long, because we come down here after they opened up the Walmart in Olive Branch. You know, that's when, and my mom had some friends that lived down here. Of course, all the kids I grew up with on my street between like 95 or 94 or 97 all moved. They all moved down to South Haven and Olive Branch. And it was funny because in 98, my parents, we went out looking. Like, we went to these new subdivisions and model homes, and me and Aaron get excited, you know, like, man, we've had to move on up. You know, it's gonna be, you know, you walk
Jeffersons.
You know, the house I grew up in was like 1,000 square foot. And so we walk into these houses that are only, you know, might have been 17, 18, 1900 square foot, but to us felt like mansions, twice the size. And we're just, matter of fact, the neighborhood I live in now, we looked at when we had like 3 houses in the neighborhood.
It must be a storm coming, like, for real.
Dude, it was chances of rain, although like 3, like 11, 12, and 1, and then starting back up at like 3, it's like thunderstorm. Thunderstorms.
That cancels me from going to get more wood today.
Firewood?
No, for these shelves. I'm doing birch. It's floating shelves for my pantry.
Yeah.
So everything's birch.
Yeah.
And birch is $80 a sheet for a 4x8 sheet.
Yeah, birch is high.
And I can get 3 shelves out of 1.
Yeah. But it's nice, right? Yeah.
It will be nice.
It will be nice, yeah.
And knowing me, though, after she gets everything loaded onto it, it's just going to go bop, 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 because I'm not a builder. Which I enjoy doing that stuff, but that's not my thing. Like, I like doing it, but I don't know everything. Like, I got pocket holes. I'm doing pocket holes. You know what that is?
Yeah.
It's really, like, everything's slick. There's no fasteners from the outside. It's nice.
Right.
I just hope it holds.
There's only one way to find out.
Put everything heavy on the bottom. That way it's got less to fall. Yeah, it's popping.
Yeah, man. Might get a tornado out of this one.
Hey.
We'll be holding on to the...
Please don't hit the house.
Yeah, right.
We close on our house in, should be about 3 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And, man, I'm going to tell you, that is the biggest headache, is to try to take something that's been, I don't want to say neglected, but has been not upkept like it should have been.
Right.
and dumping a lot of money into it to make it nice again. It's going to be brand new when it's done.
Right.
But I'm ready for it to look brand new.
Yeah, that's something a lot of people don't realize nowadays. Millennials, our generation is kind of split. Like either you was able to buy a home back when things were normal, or you're kind of out of luck right now, because the prices. And so, but I was telling, some buddies of mine that like hadn't bought a house yet, a little bit younger than me. I was like, man, it's it's nice to own a home, buy a home. I was like, but you got to keep up with that. And I was like, you get approved, you buy a house, close on it and take the pictures, and you're happy, you're celebrating. And that first week though, you're hearing every little noise.
Or your air conditioner goes out.
Oh, don't
10,000.
Let's not even say that, dude.
I've replaced 3 already. I got 1 more to go,
dude. Oh man, I don't even want to think about that. Yeah. But
they go out at the worst time.
Do it?
Absolute worst time. The last one that we had go out was the day that my father-in-law passed. We had a whole bunch of family come over, and then it was 90 degrees in the house, and I was like, this is fun. And on top of dealing with all of that, trying to get somebody in there to, hey, like, I know this needs to be done. Well, yeah, we'll come over and check it out. Oh, your computer board's gone out. Oh, it's 17 years old, so we can't replace the computer board. So now we got to replace the system. Oh, it's $10,000 on top of what you're already going through. But
man, I don't even want to think about it, because like we were just talking about before we started filming, how tight things, how high prices are, and how pay's not keeping up, and it's a leery it's the thing to have to contend with. So I tell my buddies who are still renting, I'm like, listen, I know your rent's high, I get that. Like, if you're able to afford that, at least if your stove goes out, you make a phone call,
Depends on the landlord.
That does. I mean, for the most part, a lot. I think one buddy, they live in apartments, good apartments, to where they're on top of it. They can get it fixed or whatever. And another buddy of mine, I think, rents a house or whatever. But, for the most part, you might have to wait.
Yeah.
Might have to wait for it to happen, but you ain't waiting for yourself to come up with the money to be able to fix it.
No doubt.
And so I told him, at least you have that. That's. I went to one buddy's house. They rent, and went in his garage, and I looked at the ceiling. Man, it's just all these watermarks and stuff in it, and I'm thinking,
turns into mold instantly.
Yeah, they had a hot water heater, I think, bust or something up there, and it was bad. And but I see that, and I'm thinking, if that was my house, I'd be in here having to tear out the walls and put up new and take all. But he don't have that liability. It's not on him to now. He's got to get on him about, because the mold and everything else, to make sure all that's taken care of. But financially speaking,
oh man,
yeah,
there has been a shift with people renting. They're like, same like you said, I don't have to keep the upkeep. I don't have to do this. I don't have to do that. The American dream used to be 9 to 5, own a home, own a car, and then played a little bit. People worked to play or work to live. Now you got all these other guys that are coming in like, I don't know if I want to own a home, which is, if it works out for you, or I'm only going to live here a year or two, I'm going to rent.
Right.
And then during COVID, everybody was going to working at home.
Right.
So a lot of people were buying campers and just traveling.
Yeah.
And that's a cool deal if you don't mind being on the road. I like being on the road, but I also like being at home.
Right.
I like traveling. I love to travel.
Yeah.
But I want to be at home more so than anything else.
I had a friend. Well, there was a friend growing up named Cody. He had his sister hung out. We were all kind of in the same friend group. His sister was a couple years younger than us, and we were all in mutual friend groups. And she ended up marrying a guy that I worked with when I worked at Chili's. He was a server named Donnie, and they got married, and they were both nurses. And during COVID, they didn't. I'm not sure if they had kids when COVID first hit, but they did that. They packed up a camper and they did the travel nurse deal. And man, that looked fun. It looked real. Now they have they're stationary. I don't know what state they're in, but they got a farm, like they got a homestead.
Yeah.
And they got all kind of, and it's crazy to see stuff like that happen, because I knew how both of them grew up, you know, and where they came from and where they're at now. And but talk about that traveling and stuff, and that looked fun, you know, that did look fun. But growing up, I always, because like where I guess I was born in 88. So
me too.
Okay, so up until like 95, 96, it was pretty hunky-dory. Like, I mean, I had all these friends and stuff on my street. You know, I went to their house, take them to my house. We used to ride bikes around the neighborhood, play video games, trampoline.
Bought a Rider Wars.
All kind of stuff. Just a blast. And within like 2 years, they were all gone.
Yeah.
And I'm about third, fourth grade. I'm reading these Goosebump books, right?
Oh, yeah. I remember Goosebumps.
Loved them, man. I read so many of them. And it was all about friends hanging out, you know, running away from monsters or solving problems or mysteries or whatever. And I didn't have that anymore, man. And it made me want that, you know, and I wanted my kids to have experienced that because it got, you know, taken away from me. And then I did, you know, I grew up and we eventually bought a house in a, you know, good neighborhood, and they had neighborhood friends, and they got the trampoline. They go around the block and corner and ride bikes and all kind of stuff. And so I got to fulfill that, you know, but I you know, that's what I wanted, you know. I planned on it, you know. I got bigger like grandpa dreams for myself almost than I did.
I do too.
Yeah, man. Yeah, you look like a pawpaw, dude.
I feel like one.
Now let's get you there.
My wife, we were coming back from a tournament about 2 months ago. My brain just does not sit still. Like there's something in my brain that says I got to make money, got to make money, got to make money.
Right.
By no means are we well off. We do okay.
Shit.
We are okay. There's some weeks we got money in the bank, and there's some weeks we got no money in the bank.
Right.
It's how it works with small businesses. I'm trying to get to the next level.
Right. But
my brain does not shut off. Like this podcast thing. It costs me money right now.
Right.
Maybe, hopefully, and it's just something that I enjoy doing.
Right.
It's a fun hobby.
Right.
If it turns into something one day, great.
Right.
I would love for it. Even if it just paid for itself, I would love for that, you know. Because I like coming in and interviewing people. I want to turn it into a broski, ha-ha.
Yeah.
But I also want to do like some interviews, you know.
Yeah.
Or whatever it turns into, I like it. I like talking.
Right.
But she was like, you're never satisfied with what we have. And I'm like, my brain cannot shut off like that. I can't. It's not that I'm not happy.
Right.
But I have a 10-year plan.
Yeah.
I hate going to the beach. I don't like the sand. I feel like a fat walrus sitting on the beach.
Right.
I don't like it. My wife can sit on the beach all day long, sit under an umbrella, and just sit there.
Yeah.
I can sit there and take a nap.
Right.
But then I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
Well, my big thing that I want to do is buy a couple condos.
Yeah.
So she can go to the beach whenever she wants. I like to go with her.
Right.
I do like going with her.
Yeah.
But I want to go fishing when I'm there. I want to go get on a boat when I'm there. She don't like the boat. I want to go flying when I'm there. I want to go do I don't want to sit on the beach.
Yeah.
I want to be with you.
Right.
But I don't want to sit on the beach.
Yeah.
So if we bought a condo, hey, not to say we're going to get rich off of it.
Right.
But then we're buying an asset to where she can use it whenever she wants to.
Right.
And it's paying for itself. As long as it pays for itself, I'm cool.
Right.
If I got to come out of pocket a little bit to pay for it, I'm fine with it.
Right.
But she's like, you're just never satisfied. Like this flying thing, I want to fly.
Right.
I started flying officially. My daughter's 15. It started when she was a baby. So 15 years ago, I started flying. We were broke. We're broke.
Right.
I was making $20 at the time. Flying was cheaper then. But we had a newborn. We couldn't afford it, so I quit. Had I continued to do that dream 15 years ago, I would have been in airlines right now making $400,000 plus a year.
Right.
Not a dig on her, in no way.
Sure.
Started back 4 or 5 years ago. It was just not good timing. Nobody really agreed with it, so I quit again.
Right.
Well, this time I've hadn't started flying yet, but I've started all my prepping. Like we went on a fun flight, me and my buddy, and Jason.
Yeah.
He's a CFI, which is a certified flight instructor. And I'm going to fly. I've got it in my brain that I'm going to do this. And once I start, there's no stopping.
Right.
So now I bought all my books to read. I hate reading. And there's a lot of boring information that you got to know. It's not just, hey, we're going to go get in a plane and fly.
Right.
You got to know regulations. You got to know what you can and can't do.
Bunch of technical stuff.
Very. Man, it is.
I'm telling you, man.
It is bad.
Yeah.
But, so I've said, once I start, I'm going to get all my ducks in a row and I'm going to go take my private exam.
Yeah.
Once I do that, there is no stopping.
Right.
I'm full steam until I'm done.
Yeah.
People don't like that.
Oh, yeah.
People think that's dumb.
Right.
But in my brain,
yeah,
I'm thinking, hey, this will help.
Right.
We want to go. She loves Destin. I love going to Destin. Love going. I just don't like the beach.
Right.
We can be in a plane and I can fly there. Say, we wake up Sunday morning. Oh, we want to go to Destin for the day. Get up 7 o'clock. Be in Destin at 9:30, hang out on the beach, go to Beauchamp's, our favorite restaurant.
Yeah.
Fly back at 9 o'clock. Had a full day at the beach.
Right.
I got to fly.
Yeah.
My wife got to sit on the beach.
Yeah.
We got to eat a really nice dinner, and we flew home. All day long, probably cost us $300.
Including the fuel and everything?
Including the fuel.
Wow.
Including fuel, food, and everything. It may be a little more depending on where you get fuel.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's a little bit more than a car, but you're also flying 160 mile an hour.
Right.
In one direction. You're not doing curves. It's straight shot.
Right. Something you mentioned, you said, once you get it in your mind, you're going to do it, you do it.
I try.
Right. And because you've already admitted to yourself it's worth doing. Yeah. And that you want it. And so that's how
you go weight loss with this, ain't you?
You already know, man. What's it going to take to get your mind to do that with weight loss, brother?
I did it once, and I'm slowly doing it again. I'm not on a diet. I'm not saying I'm on a diet. I'm not saying anything else.
Right.
You seen it at work. I think you seen my big Yeti cup I got.
Oh, yeah.
I drink that all day long. I fill it up when I'm out. It's a half gallon.
Yeah.
And I probably drink 2, 3, or 4 of them a day.
Yeah.
I refill it up. Now, granted, I'm losing a little bit with ice, but I'm filling it up 3 or 4 times at work, plus before I go home. Then when I get home, I'm refilling it up. So I've started just drinking nothing but water out of this thing, like regularly. So I'm drinking 3 to 4 gallons of water a day.
Yeah.
Without ice.
Right.
With ice melt. So, like, it sits beside me when I'm sitting on the couch and I'm just big old baby sucking on this draw. Yeah. I'm not on a diet.
Right.
We had burgers last night, cooked burgers.
Yeah.
I had a burger and a little bit of fries.
Yeah.
And I stopped.
Right.
So I'm not on a diet. I'm just cutting back like I did before.
Yeah.
And then once I start cutting back and I'm not hungry, because I'm always freaking hungry now.
Right.
That, I'm just slowly trying to cut back my calories.
Yeah. And not to go too much into the last episode.
Well, there's a reason I'm doing it.
Okay.
Because of the plane.
Right.
Because of the plane. Because me and Jason aren't small guys.
Right.
And when I saw my picture with us the other day flying, I looked like fat marshmallow, like, oh. And I was like, I don't like that. I don't like that look. And I'm not a self-conscious guy.
Right.
I walk around this whole thing butt naked on camera and ain't got a care in the world.
Yeah.
But when I look like a fat marshmallow stuffed off in a plane, I'm like, let's do something. Because if I drop 50 pounds, that's an extra 10 gallons of fuel I can bring, which is 45 minutes of flight time that I don't have to stop.
Right.
So I can carry more weight in a plane.
You save money, lose weight, feel great.
There you go. I like that.
Yeah, right.
I like that.
Fly your plane.
Yep.
Yeah, Cody's Airlines. There we go.
Ain't no Cody's Airlines. No.
But I was messaging. People message me on TikTok or Facebook or whatever.
Yeah.
And I follow some people who start weight loss journeys and all that kind of stuff. And this one girl, I think she lives in New Jersey, and she was kind of trying to explain herself. She's approaching the whole thing the correct way, like how the best possible way you could approach it, which is like, what's really going on here? How did I get this size to begin with? Like, what's the core issue? And
food.
It's food, but why? Like, why do you feel the need to eat so much?
I stress eat.
Right, it's emotional, and it's attached to something. And what a lot of people are scared of is not being able to feel full.
Yeah.
Because when you're hungry, you think you're starving, and you want to eat a whole lot.
It's a comfort.
So with some people, depending on where you're at mentally with it, I started kind of telling people, look, if you're not wanting to fully commit to something, eat as much as you want to, but eat the right things. Like eat things that are like whole foods, and even if you overeat those things, just get your palate used to eating. If it's too much, we're not even talking about calories.
Yep.
But let's just swap, like from beef, like cheeseburgers, turkey burgers.
Yeah, not bad.
I'm having a double turkey cheeseburger tonight with broccoli and sweet potatoes, and I can't wait for it. My little brother, he was over, 2-3 weeks ago, and he seen this plate of food of mine. I mean, Cody, it was a mound.
Yeah.
It's double turkey cheeseburger, right, with a keto bun. I got 200 grams of broccoli and 200 grams of sweet potatoes, and it takes up a whole plate. It's a lot of food. He's like, man, how many calories is that? And I got my phone out and add up. It's like 900 calories for the whole thing. You go to Taco Bell or McDonald's somewhere, and 900.
Tacos.
Yeah, I think it was a Dunkin' or no. Crumble cookie. One of them just come out with like a 1,600 calorie shake or something. Like 1,700. Matter of fact, Costco has got chicken strips now in the up their food court. They always have the pizza, hot dog and stuff.
Yeah.
Now they got chicken strips, and just on a whim. Now I knew it's outside. It's fried food. That's like one of the worst. But I'm like, let me just see how many calories.
Yeah.
5 fried chicken tenders if you eat it with the honey mustard dipping sauce, just take a guess. You kind of know a little bit.
2,500.
No, it's less than that. But we're talking about just 5 chicken strips.
Yeah.
1,600 calories with the dipping sauce.
With the sauce, yeah.
With the honey mustard.
I was thinking the bread was going to add a lot more to it.
Yeah, but 16 for 5 chicken strips. Now you're getting some protein, but you're getting a lot of oil and grease and all that kind of stuff in there. But
that makes you feel horrible.
It really does. Man, nowadays, if I take off and just eat what I want, God, I feel bad. My thoughts get bad. My body feels bad. I just feel rough.
Yeah.
I think last podcast I was on, I was 183. Woke up today 171. And this is where Cody says, hit the brake. You're good. Stop. Yeah. Any smaller.
Well, you look a lot better now because at one time you looked sickly. Now, I guess you've done come accustomed to it.
Yeah, changed up the macros, and you got to, you find out where the carbs and the protein, and then lifting weights and, working out and stuff like that.
That's what's gotten it. You've changed weight to weightlifting instead of just cardio.
Yeah, and a lot of people make that mistake, man, when they first start, because they want to feel like they're working, and that cardio will work you and make you, it'll make you work, and but it's really a full body recomposition. Now, when I started, it was whatever I can do as fast as possible. Yeah. I had to lose as much to win that money, And hey, have you seen Jason recently?
Jason
in the office at work.
Bendo?
Yeah, he's lost.
Has he?
He's yes, he has.
Not throwing shade.
No. I mean, you're so in and out. I think you don't really talk to him a lot.
I go to him every morning, but
he's usually sitting behind that.
Yeah. The high desk.
But I noticed yesterday, and I'm like, he wore. I guess he bought a new shirt that fit him a little snugger, and it showed. And I asked him, I said, "Man, you getting on down, man? Are you in the twos yet?" Like, it was a legit question. I wasn't flattering him. I was asking. He said, "No, I'm getting close. I'm getting close. And I said, "Well, you're doing good, man. Whatever you're doing, just hey, keep doing it. It's doing good, And but yeah, I can't remember what the last weight you said because I know what he weighs, but I don't want to say it on here. I don't even know if he cares. But y'all, you're probably technically
bigger.
No, smaller. Still. A little.
I was 303 this morning. I had gotten to 320.
Yeah.
So.
But he's smaller now than I was when I started the weight loss competition.
Yeah.
Which blows my mind. But yeah, I don't want to get too much off into the back on the weight loss stuff, but it's a big part of it.
Yeah, I mean, it's who you are now.
Yeah. And my mom was always big, man. She cooked, man. My mom was a stay-at-home mom, and she cooked dinner every night.
Yeah.
Old school, full-blown, I mean, just what we grew up eating in the 90s, man. It's spaghetti and pork chops and meatloaf and, you know, just fried chicken. And we ate. Man, we ate, and we all gained weight except for my dad. He put on some because when they got married, she was 17, he was 19. He was 6'5" with a 28-inch waist, just straight up and down. Now his brother, who lives in Arizona, my dad was 6'5", his brother's 6'8", and his brother recently, my Uncle Kelly, we've been texting back and forth since my dad's surgery. And he sent me a picture of him. I told him about me and sent him some updated pictures. I ain't talked to him since probably 2016.
Yeah.
And sent him some pictures. Then he sent me some pictures. Now, he was never real fat. You know, that's how the family, they're pretty lean.
Mm-hmm.
And but he's 6'8", I think 170 pounds, man. And if you look at the BMI chart, that's like the lowest a man that height could be. To still be health in the normal range.
Yeah.
I did the math on it. I would have to be like 140 pounds to be to be the same BMI. Now I ain't trying to get 140 pounds. I ain't trying to do that. I feel like I got down to like, you know, 165. You could feel the difference, like as far as strength goes, you know, at the gym, and you're like, man, I don't like this. You know, you're lifting weights that used to be warm-up numbers, and you're kind of struggling with, man, I put a little more on. But what gets me is how I carry mine. You know, I might be 16%, 17% body fat, but the way I'm shaped, brother, it's just all right in the middle. Like,
Me too.
You could look at you could see, you know, all the veins and tendons and stuff, and like I move look.
Yeah. You
can see all that stuff up under there. Same with my calves and legs. Yeah. Ain't no fat on there, but it's what I got. It's just right here. You know?
I'm bulbous in the middle.
Yeah.
I don't have fat legs. I got a fat face, but I don't really have fat arms. It's just all here. What do you call that? You call it something.
You talk about like the shape?
Yeah.
There's like apple shape, pear shape.
No, it's something else. Where you hold all your weight in the middle.
It's a shape.
Yeah.
It's a shape.
Round's a shape.
Yeah, circle's a shape. Well, what size, if you don't mind me asking, what size shirt do you wear? 3X?
Well, yeah, if I wear Carhartt, they're 2X, but they run big. And then everything else is 3X.
See, I was 334 and in a 4X, which, I mean, that says a lot because a 5'11", 6'1" guy who's 300 to 300 probably 40 pounds, you know, a 3XL usually will work on them, depending on how they're shaped. I mean, I had buddies that were 380 who were in like 3XLs, and it fit them.
Yeah.
But I was 330 and I had to wear a 4X.
But you got a long midsection too.
Yes, I do. I have a long midsection, but it was all in the front. Like, I got some pictures, man, and I'm like side profiling me back. Golly, you know, and I look at myself now sometimes and I'm like, oh man, but then I look back on those and I'm thankful. I'm like, man, you're lucky you even can look like this now, man. You know, I have to tell myself that But I grew up in Parkway Village, man. Oh man.
Hey, we're not doing bad. We're almost at 50 minutes.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, that ain't bad.
No, because I figured we was going to struggle today with no prep.
Yeah.
No prep.
Hey, you don't know until you try, you know?
But me and you talk anyways.
Yeah.
We just talk about everything.
Yeah. And then I'll be talking to you at work about just one little thing I had to ask about my truck or something. Next thing you know, I'm going, man, I'm going to get in trouble. I got to get back to
talking 15, 20 minutes.
And let me see. All right, I'll count that as my second break. I didn't mean to. But it goes quick, you know? It goes quick. We just click with certain people and you can just talk forever.
Well, I got a little dilemma going right now. We can talk about that.
Let's go.
By the time this airs, because this all happened this morning, we've been trying to get a 16U softball team, travel ball team going.
Yeah.
We just finished up 14U spring season. My daughter aged out, so it's either she plays 16U or she don't play. So I love coaching. Coaching's a huge part of me right now, and something that I never thought I'd love to do, but coaching softball is a blast.
Yeah.
It's a headache. It's a drag.
Right.
But once I'm at practice, I'm like, okay. Yeah. I guess it's how people feel like with working out. Man, I don't want to go. I don't want to do it. But I get there, I'm like, having fun.
Yeah.
Have fun cutting up with the girls.
Right.
I'm a big jokester. We got a great set of parents, always talking smack with them. But trying to get a 16U team together from scratch is hard. We held a 2 weeks of tryouts, basically. And had some girls show up, had a couple girls from our 14U team age out, and then they had some friends that were coming. We had a banging squad. We had a sure enough competing team. This morning, I had 3 girls drop out.
All this morning?
All this morning.
Wow.
2 of them were twins, and they're going to another team. Everybody's scared to get into 16U team, or it's hard to start a team because once you start, nobody knows your static, your statistics at all.
Right.
So, if you go out and you're charging these people hundreds of dollars to go play every weekend, and people are scared to get beaten, which fully understand.
Right.
But we had enough girls and some good girls that were like, okay, we're going to be competitors this season. Like we're going to be good. But you got these teams like Illusions that's been together. That's got a whole organization from 6U
right
to 18U.
Yeah.
That's people are like, oh, I want to go play for Illusions. I want to go play for Mafia. I want to go play for whoever.
Right.
So it's hard to get one started. And we were starting. Like our practices, which they were hit or miss in tryouts. And then finally I was like, okay, Thursday I said, hey, we got a team. We're going to go. We're going to need one more girl to pick up, but, we have a team.
Right.
This morning I wake up, hey, coach, sorry to let you know we're going to go a different route. I'm like, what? After I've already told all these parents, absolutely, we got a team. I'll let you know Sunday what our schedule looks like and what our fees are going to be.
Right.
Because some tournaments are $400.
Right.
Some are $1,200 and $1,500.
Right.
For a weekend. So I had to, sit down and do all this stuff. I've done hours and hours and hours worth of work for free that I love doing.
Right.
For somebody to be like, nah, coach, we're gonna go with somebody else. So now I gotta call everybody tomorrow. By the time this airs, it'll be over with. But by the time this airs, so I'm gonna leave it up to the parents.
Yeah.
We can I do it too.
Yeah.
We can either continue to practice and hope to find some girls, but if we don't, then we can't compete. And I hate doing that because I feel like I'm holding back the girls that could potentially go somewhere else, because every one of our girls I would put up, like the squad we had put together would have been a great squad. We would have been competitors.
Yeah.
We wouldn't have been getting stomped. We may have gotten beat, but we would not have been getting mud stomped.
Right. That's kind of risky. I guess it's a risky take, and you're a risk taker. Like you don't mind taking some risk.
Yeah.
If it's like you said, once you get your mind set on it, you'll even take some risk and to go in that direction. And then you run into situations like, and it's just something else to figure out, right?
Yeah. And that's kind of why I'm going to leave it up to the parents. Like, I will go as far as we want to go. As far as you are willing to go with me, we will go together.
Right.
But in your mind, you got to realize, if we can't put together a team, you've wasted this time and your daughter's not going to make a team.
Yeah.
So it's kind of so I got to figure out what we're going to do.
Well, I would say my daughter, my youngest, she's 12, but and she, playing team softball and olive branch, what's that called?
Rec
ball. And she's just there to have fun, man. Like she's there to something to do. She's got friends there. She do it, but you'll see her out there, in the field picking flowers.
Oh no,
picking right.
It's different than travel.
Exactly. But what I'm saying is, she's my one that if she wanted to, oh man, she'd blow it out of the water. I say this. So the other day, I called home, or Yeah, I was talking to my wife. I was talking to my oldest daughter called me. It was weigh-in day. You know, hers is Friday.
Yeah.
Friday morning, she's calling me every Friday morning, tell me what her numbers are and everything. And I hear her sister in the background, my youngest, and she sounded like a 4-year-old. She's 12 years old. Sounded like a 4-year-old. She was whining and crying about something. I mean, sound just like I said, your sister sounds like a 4-year-old. She goes, yeah, her stomach's hurting. Okay, so my wife calls me later that morning. She goes, yeah, I had to leave Lana home. She's sick.
Mm-hmm.
Got her stomach's messed up. So okay. So I get home that day, and she's on the couch on her phone, you know, on TikTok, whatever, and her chore is the dishes.
Yeah.
And I get home. Well, she come outside. That's what she come outside. Hey, Daddy, how's your day? You know, I was like, "That was good. How are you? You feeling better?" Yeah, I'm feeling better. I was like, okay, I'll walk in, and you know, dishes still ain't done. You know, sitting there.
She had the AM flu.
Yeah. So and then I catch her in there on the phone. And, well, she give me a good excuse. She said, or to her was, she goes, well, if I'm sick, Daddy, I don't want to get my sickness on the dishes. So I do the dishes. And I said, well, baby, you need to put them in that dishwasher. It's going to sanitize them.
Mm-hmm.
I said, she goes, oh, okay. And so she popped up and she did them. And then me and her went and picked my oldest from school on the way back. And my youngest, she learns how to work my wife, right? So she'll do all the dishes, but like the big dishes, like pots, pans, or a cookie sheet, whatever. You know, she'll call Mama. Would you mind doing the big dishes? You know, and my wife's bad about saying, okay, I'll do them, right? So on the way back from school, she said, yeah, Mom's going to do the big dishes. I said, you know, you really need to do them yourself. I said, you're perfectly capable of doing them, and you're not sick anymore.
At 14, absolutely.
12. Still. She said, ready for this? It makes my arms sore. Now, rewind to last weekend. We had a 16-foot oval trampoline in the backyard that's on the left side of my backyard. I have a shed on the right side of my backyard. By herself, this girl drug that trampoline that was years buried in dirt. The legs was buried down. Moved it by herself from one side of the yard to the other.
Jumping off the top of the shed.
To get on top of the shed to jump off. And so I said, these big dishes hurt your arms. I said, but you gonna move that whole trampoline by yourself? I said, I'm the one that moved it back. That thing's heavy, you know. And she was busted, you know. She started. She just started laughing, you know. She just started laughing. So it reminds me a lot of me when I was young, man. I had a lot of potential. To this day, I got ideas. You tell me, you know, all these ideas. You go, man, you got all these ideas. I feel like I was raised to be more risk adverse. I don't like risk. Like I'd rather be sure-footed, you know, and go in a steady direction than take too much of a risk and potentially risk losing what I've already built up to. So, but you know, if I'd have started practicing and working out my discipline muscle when I was younger, like my oldest, you know, she's real disciplined about every aspect. Now with her, it's the other way around. With her, it's you got to loosen up some, baby. You're putting too much pressure on yourself. You know, I love and respect what you're doing and what you're attempting to do and the direction you're going. It's wonderful, but you're not a grown woman yet. But you taking her, for instance, we lost some chargers, like phone chargers. They always come up missing. Well, I have the headset that I wear.
There's a roller mouse. You don't touch my charger.
Right.
Do not grab my charger.
Yeah. So I plug my headset up in the kitchen, you know, on the counter. With some keys and stuff right there, and she had to use that charger, so she took my headset and took the charger and the cord and everything into her room and make sure to plug it up. That happened like one day, and so the next day I put my headset on the counter where I usually put it, and the charger wasn't there. And I got up the next morning and I had a text on my phone from my oldest, "Hey, Daddy, your headset's plugged up in my room again." I was like, okay, because she had to use the charger. And then the next day, I come home and I just set it down. Next morning, another text message. "Hey, Dad, I got your headsets in my room." She took the responsibility. Mm-hmm. She took it. She knew she needed to use that charger and it wasn't going to be where I needed it. Yeah. So matter of fact, this really threw me. She come in there about 11 o'clock at night. It's over the summer, so they're up late. But she was going to bed. She couldn't find my headset. Now, it ain't her response. That's my headset. Mm-hmm. She come in there.
Did she move it?
No. Okay, I had left it in the garage. I was cleaning cars. And I had left it in the garage. And she come in there and woke me up because she knew Daddy was going to need his headset tomorrow. And she woke me up. She said, "Yeah, I can't find your headset." And I thought, oh, where did so I popped up out of bed and I went out the garage and found it and gave it to her. But 13 years old, you know, she's taking responsibility, you know. And she's this year, they just started back school, right? And this is the first year she got advanced classes. You know, she's in advanced classes and a little tougher, you know, a little tougher, which is good, you know, that's what she needs. And she was expressing, you know, kind of some, you know, insecurities about it, you know, on the first couple of days. You know, she's like, Dad, it's some hard stuff. And I'm really having to, I said, that's all right. I said, hey, it's just adversity. That's what you're facing. But that's how we learn. That's how we grow. You ain't always supposed to be the smartest one in the class necessarily. And it's okay not to know the answer. You can't start anything perfect. I said, and you know this. I said, think about me. My first day at the gym, I was in blue jeans and work boots.
Yep.
You know, at 300 pounds, you know, looking like a clown on the treadmill, but I figured it out. I just stuck with it, you know, and kept doing it. Well, it feels like some of these other kids have been doing this longer and they, you know, they've had advanced classes. I said, yeah, just like when I walk in that gym. I said, there's people who started a health journey after I did and either, you know, got bigger muscles or, you know, got a six-pack before me or something or whatever. I said, but you can't compare. That's not how life, you can't live life that way. Yep. You know, you got to work your own story. I said, you was born with your own set of circumstances and plenty of, you know, your own story to tell. And they have something different. You know, you just got to do what's best for you. I said, you know, to my definition of success is setting an aim at something and then going towards it. Actively going towards what, if you find something of value and that you want to do, like you gonna fly planes, you know, that's out in front of you. You can't lie to yourself and tell you don't actually want to do that. You know you do. You can't lie to yourself. So if you set that destination up and you're actively going towards that, you're successful. Like that's success. And so the next day after she was upset because I think she got a question wrong in front of the teacher picked her and she got it wrong and she ain't used to getting stuff wrong, hates being wrong. Well, the next day I texted her, I said, you know, just remember, I said, I hope your day today is better than yesterday. It's okay not to know the answer. And I picked her up that day and she was happy. She said she was in an advanced math class and teacher called her to the board to do an equation and she got it right. Yeah. And she was ecstatic, you know, she was just real happy with herself, you know. And then my youngest, she can pick up on stuff real quick, which she uses sometimes as a kid does. Crutch. As a crutch is like, I don't have to pay attention. When I need to, I will, you know. And she's bad about coming and talking about, well, this teacher acts this way or says this or does this. And then that part of me, that deviant part, because I got kicked out of school. You got kicked out of school. We're both rejects out of school, you know, we got kicked out, and so my daughter loves to pull that up. You got an 8th grade education, okay? Well, my 8th grade education pays for everything your little butt does. Come on, man. And so I gotta watch myself because I'll be giving her some slick comebacks to. I just get in trouble because I don't talk to my daughter like I should. Yeah. So I'm telling my girls, I said, well, you ought to tell her, say this to, and it's nothing, you know, crazy or, you know, super disrespectful. It's those little bitty, you know, it's a little thing. One-liner. Yeah. You know, it's like, hey, the teacher asked one day, why are y'all being so loud over there at that table? And, or what are y'all doing over there? I said, you just look up, say, schoolwork, you know, stuff like that, little stuff. And, so I told her one day after I give her a bunch of lines and stuff, and I said, you know, everything I've told y'all, I said, I said that to teacher in class. What, Daddy? And I talked to my wife. I said, can you imagine, like growing up, like they know this version of me. Yeah. You know, and I take care of things. I put things in order. I care about, I make plans. I said, they wouldn't know what to thought, you know, to see me back in high school showing my ass, you know. Dude, my daughter, she sees me lose my temper. Like, I'm very trigger set, like very quick to hit that trigger, just boom and I'll flip. Right. I'm getting better as age goes. Mm-hmm. But back before I met my wife, it was 0 to 1,000,000. Like, it was, you looked at me funny, we was fighting. Yeah. You talked to me stupid, we was fighting. Something I grew up love fighting. Yeah. Good or bad. Right. I just loved it. And
like the other day, somebody had said something on Facebook. I'm not on Facebook. Over something that shouldn't have mattered. It was some repairs on the house that, somebody said, loyalty means nothing to friendship. And I was like, you're $40,000 more than this other end result. Like, that's not loyalty. And I didn't call him. I texted him and said, hey, going to Facebook is childish. I don't appreciate that. And I tried to explain to him from where I was coming from. Like, you said your family lost out on money.
Right.
What if I paid you the $80,000 to fix my roof that you said, I'm losing $40,000 from what this other company, that's money out of my family's pocket.
Right.
On top of the other $170,000 worth of repairs I got to do.
Right.
And I was just like, I don't appreciate that. I didn't flip out. And my daughter's like, what are you going to do if he says something? I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, you're not fixing to do nothing. I'm like, I don't want to fight nobody.
Right.
But if it came down to it and he'd come out of my house, it'd be different.
Right.
I don't want to fight him. He's a good dude.
Right.
His price was just outrageous.
Yeah. I have a similar story.
And like $40,000 will fix the interior of my home.
Yeah, man. That's just, and I had to make a post about this on Facebook. Actually, I used to have a coworker at a job that I worked at one time, and they started an auto detailing business, and they cleaned up some of your rides.
Yeah.
And when I first found out they was doing that, I've been auto detailing privately for a long time.
You used to do all mine.
Yeah, and so I contacted her and I was like, hey, I do this I did privately for a while. If you need, want to come over and I can walk you through ways to save money and cost on chemicals and how to be effective in certain situations and what customers actually look for and things that are easy to miss. Just give her, and she did. She come over with a pen and paper and took notes, and I showed her the products, this, that, everything else. And then they went off for a few months and they were doing car lots. That's usually how you start, and it's usually. You usually don't make much because you can't charge much because you're just getting started. And then they did your rides. I got them hooked up with 3 of yours, and you paid them a good amount of money. And they did inside and out. And so I contacted her because my little brother owns house repair, lawns, landscape, all that kind of stuff. He does all that kind of business. And he's got a work truck. It's dirty.
Yep.
And I was going to have him do my flower beds. I was going to detail his work truck and just even swap. Well, I thought I could throw this to them and have them come over, and I could generally pretty much guess how much it's going to cost around about. And the price that she shot back at me it was too high. I mean, it wouldn't have been so high if, say, it would have been a legacy detail company. If I could have trusted the results.
Yeah.
If I knew that I was going to get that much of a result out of it. But for you just starting out, and I know your equipment, I know what you got and what you can and can't do, you're charging
a premium.
You're charging legacy brick and mortar detail prices. And so I said, no, I appreciate it. It's a little higher than I thought it was going to be. I'll just bite the bullet. I'll do this one.
Yeah.
And she come back with lower price. So I said, okay. I said, that'll work. So they come out and they did the outside of it. Spent a lot of time. It was dirty. And then she calls me out there. I'm supposed to do the inside and outside for this set number.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, well, how come you didn't tell me that this was a work truck with no floor mats? And I said, because you didn't ask. Didn't ask. I mean, that's a way to learn. Yeah. It's your business. And we talk numbers. If you're going to do business over the phone, over text message.
Carpet and flooring is the same. I mean, you still got to vacuum it now. Don't you got to put some kind of shine or whatever? But I don't like that shine. That's the problem that I had with them. Mm-hmm. Is my floorboards were so slippery on my floor mats. My floor mats were so slippery that you couldn't put your foot on it. Yeah. And my dash and my steering wheel was slippery, and that was what I didn't like.
Right, and that's actually one of the things when she first come over and I talked to her. I said, any touch surfaces can't be slick on that inside. I said, that's a liability. That's safety. Mm-hmm. That can be bad. So any touch surfaces, don't need to use any silicone-based dressing. It needs to be a water-based dressing, and it needs to be mopped up to the point where it's not slick to the touch, and it's not you don't step in because that can be bad. Another thing is a lot of these driveway detailers or car lot detailers, they put that tire shine on that tire all the way around,
the car.
Except for that, but also the very bottom.
Yeah.
So the best way to do it is to apply it, drive the car up some, and then fully get the whole thing, because customers notice that, especially when they're paying. If you're charging a premium, they're going to see that. And that was one of the things I pointed out. And I was also like, you got to go back over it and wipe it. You don't want it slinging up on the paint, because they're going to notice that too. So all these little things you learn along the way, and I'm giving them to you. Like these are the things that actually matter at the end of the day, especially if you're going to be charging what you're charging. And so she said, why did you tell me it was a work truck with no floor mat so we didn't ask? And she said, well, your X amount of money is pretty much already ate up on the outside of this truck. I said, really?
How'd the outside change?
Well, she never seen the outside.
Yeah.
Now, it was a work truck, and it was a landscaping work truck. It was bad. But these are the questions you ask. These are the things. But even that, I had already given them, I got them all your cars, your business, and you paid them good and tipped them good. And so I thought, well, for this price and for what they can do, I think, this would be fair. And so I said, I'll tell you what, don't worry about the inside. I'll take care of the inside here. I give her money and I walk back in the house.
Did you pay the full price?
Yeah. I paid what we agreed to. Here's the deal. Of course.
Or you never use them again.
Never use them again.
Yep.
Never use them again.
That's what I did.
Yeah.
I'm not going to, food and stuff, you're doing a service for me, I'm not going to fight with you over it.
Right.
But I'm going to shut it off and never use it and never give your name out.
Yeah, and that's the thing about guys like us. We appreciate when it's done right, and we can pull you some business. We can pull you some business,
Dude, I talk to hundreds of people a day.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Just maybe not every day, but I talk to a lot of people. A lot of people ask me, hey, this? Or, that's how I'm finding all my construction stuff.
Right.
Literally everything is by word of mouth.
Yeah.
Nothing I'm looking up right now. Well, there is one siding company just because I wanted to get an actual price on a siding because I'm having to have all my stuff. But everything I do is word of mouth. Word of mouth to me is way better.
Right.
Way better than having somebody go spend $10,000 on advertisement. Okay, you've got money to spend on that. Cool, that's great.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what you can do. But if my buddy has used you and you did a great job, hey, that speaks volumes. And I tell my people, tell me the good and the bad.
Right, right.
Tell me that you're not exactly happy with something.
Yeah.
So I know, okay, if it's something that I can do, it may be something stupid.
Right.
People are funny about things. But if you got 5 or 6 people, this dude does a great job. Been doing it for 20 years.
Yeah.
I want to use that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to use it. If he don't come knock my head off.
Right.
And even the guy that I tried to use, I even told him, I still want you to give me a price on my side. I can't compete with that. Like, bro, I'm trying to give you business.
Yeah.
But I got to do what's good for my family.
Right. Right.
And I told you, I understand that you have to make money.
Yeah.
But $40,000 is $40,000.
And it was on Facebook. She had made a post, not directly at me.
I can't stand. Why do you got to go to Facebook to run your? Say what you got to say to me.
Yeah, just to me. And it wasn't directed. It wasn't obvious that it was.
He didn't direct it. He just out in the atmosphere.
That's what she did.
But it was very clear that you and I had a conversation 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
And then I get home and my wife reads it and I'm like, What is money and loyalty like?
Yeah.
We're not family.
Yeah.
And even if you were family, like,
right.
If you're charging me $40,000, bro, over whatever for the same end result.
Yeah.
Like,
right. Yeah. Well, her post was like, just because we're friends, that should mean you should, respect the
I called you
cost
first,
or the business or whatever.
I called you first. That's my friendship.
So I made a post and I said, if you happen to be one of my friends who owns a business, don't expect me, just because we're friends, to pay for results I know you can't deliver. That's the truth. You know, it comes down to it, because there's two of them. There's word of mouth detail and Bartlett, and there's Infields. I believe they're off of Covenant Pike. Those are the two best, absolute best. When I want something put back to factory, I mean factory, and they're gonna charge you for it, but you don't have to worry. Elvis, I think Elvis and Jerry Lee Lewis got their stuff done by Infields out there off of Covington Pike. Like, they are 100% legit. And we had a minivan one time. You know, minivans get bad.
Yeah,
you know, and and it was beige interior. Whoa. Oh man, the only thing I wanted them to do was the inside, and I knew that was easily going to be $200-$300. It had leather, dog hair, not even touch the outside, just the inside. $200-$300, and they want to. You make an appointment, you drop it off, then they'll call you, say, give you a price, tell you how much it's going to be. And so I asked them, I didn't know how that's how they did it. Mm-hmm. And so when I dropped it off, I kind of want to have a ballpark. Yeah. You know, I mean, I kind of knew, but I wanted to make sure. And I said, what's about $200-$300? And they were like, no, I don't think it's going to be that bad. And the one guy said, well, I kind of look, there's some dog hair. I mean, dog hair is atrocious, like with detail. It takes so much time to get out. And I think I paid maybe a little over $2. But when I tell you it was a van that we had bought used from a Toyota dealership, and it looked better after they got done with it than when we bought it from the dealership, you know. So it was worth it.
And I don't mind paying for stuff like that.
Exactly.
I don't mind paying for a better, high-quality product.
Right.
Now, don't give me a $40 brother on the side of the road like they got in Memphis.
Right.
You know, if I know I'm getting a $40 thing, okay, I'm going to get a $40 car wash.
You're right. Yeah.
If I'm paying $250 for a car wash, I want it to be a $250 car wash.
And I think that was the number. It was either $250 or $300.
Yeah.
That she was coming out to do. Now, it was just a wash. Listen,
I think they charged me $200 a piece, or maybe $150. And I don't remember. I know it was high.
I thought she ended up, after tip and everything, close to $1,000 for all three. I thought
it was
okay. Yeah.
I think I did give her $1,000.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, the outside looked great.
Right.
There was a couple things missed, like the door handles not being pulled and washed around. You know.
Yeah.
If you're paying for a premium, get a premium.
That's
if you're paying for economy, get economy.
Right. Exactly. Yep. That was the big thing, and I think it was $250 to $300, and all they did was the inside. Now, I mean, they put the inside back to as close as it could have gotten, because it was tore up some and everything in there, but. All I wanted on the outside was a basic wash, just because I knew how bad the inside was.
Yeah.
So if you just wash, and you've got a pressure washer, and you just want the outside washed, that's it. Clean the wheels and tire shine on there. Because I knew the majority of their labor was going to be in the interior, and that's what it was going to need that. And so it's really nothing to just wash the outside of a car. Yep. As far as labor and chemicals and all that. It's pretty straight and narrow, especially if you got a good pressure washer. But I knew the inside was going to be the boogabear. It was going to be bad, and it was. But I figured $250, $300. That's what I paid Infield to do a minivan.
Yeah.
And all they do was the inside, so I figured it was fair. But they didn't necessarily. And I think it was. I might have mistold the story. They did the inside. They did the inside, and I took care of the outside. That's what it was. I took care of the outside. So he come back the next weekend. And I got pressure washer out there and shine him up on the outside. And he's got an F-250 now. He went and bought himself an F-250. But it's a I can't remember what size the engine is, which one it was, but it's like a 04, 05.
6.0 probably, 6.4.
Yeah, okay. And he got that, and he's pulling around and stuff, doing all that stuff. They're coming over later today. I think I might have said that earlier.
Yeah.
Supposed to be going to church in the morning.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
Enjoy church.
Yeah, plan on. My dad was supposed to. They're going to come over tomorrow morning, eat breakfast, and we're all going to church.
Yeah.
And I'm going to see if my dad will come. He was supposed to come last Sunday and do that with us. He had some stuff come up, so I'm going to see. I'm going to text him when we leave here, see if he wants to come over and do that today. I guess we're going to buy some groceries. Want to get back to Olive Branch, go buy some groceries.
I'm cooking steaks tonight and sweet potato.
There you go.
Steaks.
How y'all do the sweet potatoes?
I like them just cooked, like in the oven or on the grill.
Yeah.
Now, in my fat guy stage, I like sour cream,
right?
Butter and brown sugar.
Yeah.
But if it's just like if I'm cutting or whatever, then I'll just sweet potato. I do like to taste the sweet potato.
Me too, man. I'll take them. My wife and she'll dice them up.
Put that butter in there and that.
Yeah, but she'll dice them up and spray them real light with avocado oil.
Yeah,
and season them and just put them in the oven and roast them.
Yeah, that's what Shelly does. Man, she'll cook that with salmon.
Yeah, man. Boy. Doesn't that make you feel like $1 million when you eat that?
And she hates sweet potato. She hates sweet potato.
Really?
But when they come out and they're almost crispy.
Yeah, man.
Bro, that's it. That's like breakfast potatoes to me.
Yeah. Yeah, it really is.
But sweeter and it's healthier.
It's like sweet and savory, man. Sweet potatoes.
With some salmon, too.
The Sweet Potato Podcast. Here we go.
Yeah. See, it's really not an opinion show, so I've been thinking about changing the name.
Yeah.
Like something like Tip of the Sip something or,
Hey, that one.
Because I want to represent something in Mississippi.
Yeah, man.
But I don't know.
Because he's born and raised here.
Yeah. And I want to I want to do a YouTube channel of like outdoor stuff, like going and camping and hunting and flying and I just want to do. I want to turn it into something just for fun. But if it turns into something, that's cool.
Yeah,
and
make it make sense.
Yeah.
If it's something you enjoy that could eventually, possibly one day be profitable, brought to you by sponsors. Let's go. We're
Toyota dealership.
Yeah. If anybody's in the market for a newer used Toyota, Jeff Larson at Chuck Hutton Toyota. Go see Jeff.
I need $50 for that, by the way, Jeff.
Oh no, yeah. Honestly, the guy works. He's not a sales guy. He's a finance manager. So you skip all the BS. That's what's cool about Jeff. Funny story. The last vehicle I bought was that RAV4 I bought for last year, and he didn't work there. He wasn't working there no more, and so I had to deal with the regular sales guys, and they're, what's your monthly trying to be? How much you trying to?
I can't stand that.
And I'm sitting there going, look, man, this car, this price, this interest, let's go. And I said, it's a shame Jeff Larson ain't here no more. He goes, Jeff, he's back there in his office. I said, oh, he's back here? Yeah, he came back. And so I said, I just got up, walked right. I said, what's up, man? Hey, brother. I said, listen, we're trying to get this RAV XLE. I need this number. I got this trade. I need this for the trade. He wrote it all down, and I said, just text me. And I left. And about an hour later, I'm at the house. He's like, we're gonna pay off your truck, because I was right there at really, if they wanted to, they could have rolled over like $1,500.
Yeah,
if they wanted to.
They just paid it off.
He's like, we're going to pay it off. And he's like, I went ahead and took another, I think, 15 off the car. And they were running like 4.5% for 60 months. And he's like, we'll get you that. And I mean, it was 2 days later. And all I do is walk in, sign, go. So my family's bought about at least 10 vehicles from him specifically. So, and I've had friends go to him. I had this one friend, and she was bad off. She had a Hyundai Elantra or something like that.
Like 10 grand over.
Still owed like 10 or 11 grand. Engine blown up. I mean, everybody's credit needs work anyway. So especially nowadays, and just in a bad spot where you're not sure how you're gonna get out of it. And I was like, go see Jeff, and she did, and had to have co-signer, but he got her in a Buick. He got her rolling. And where it made sense on paper, and that was a miracle. I mean, that's a bad situation.
Yeah.
If you're going 10, 11 grand on a 10-year-old vehicle and it's blowed up, I mean, that's a rough spot. And you don't just make $1 million a year, or your credit ain't 850. I mean, that's a rough place to be. And I was glad he was able to help her, and he was. And I was like, wow, man, he really worked to deal with that and got that figured out. So,
good little plug for
Jeff Larson at Chuck Hutton Toyota. Go see Jeff. Yeah, man.
You need to go do voiceovers.
I thought about talking to the producer of this show after we cut today, just to mess around a little bit. I mean, just for a few minutes. I know it costs money. I know. But I've thought about that just for fun.
You sound like the guy on Price is Right. What's that guy's name? They've changed names now, but I'm
come on down.
I'm slow.
You're the next contestant on The Price is Right.
I am mentally slow, so I'm like, when I hear this back, when I watch it back, I sound like a hillbilly. In my head,
man.
I don't sound that way.
Oh, really?
But when I hear this, I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa.
These headphones it takes a little getting used to hearing yourself in the headphones, But if you sing, I remember I was in high school. I went to a small private Christian high school. We did a CD one year.
Give me a tune.
All right, I'm not singing on the pod yet. Hey, I said not yet.
Actually, when you was talking about that, not to cut you off, I was listening to a podcast, an aviation podcast.
Yeah,
that people are getting overwhelmed and they get in a rut and they can't do this and they can't do that. The guy was like, "Yet is a 3-letter word that it means something big," and I was like, so he was like, think about it. You didn't know how to walk till you did. Yet you didn't walk till yet you did. Mm-hmm. Or I don't know how to do this yet, but I'm going to learn. Mm-hmm. I don't, weight loss. Mm-hmm. I want to lose this weight, but how do I do it? I don't know how to do it yet. Mm-hmm. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to. I wanted to go into that earlier, but
what was I saying? We did a Christmas album CD, Christian, CD. There were skits and comedy on there, and there was music and stuff, and it was at an actual studio with headset, and I could hear myself like we can now. And that was the first time I'd ever experienced that. And I was like, it was funny because me and this girl, I was Joseph and she was Mary, right? And we had an official script that was like, theatrical to the point, historically, biblically correct or whatever. But then the producer was like, hey, that went good. Everything's good. We're going to keep that one. Let's be silly with it. And so,
hang on, let's see. Are you crop dusting me?
No, not at all.
I smelled something twice.
Not at all. I promise you, brother. I don't do that, man, at all.
My bad. It may be something in here, but
it might be because my mama preached to me 2 things. She said 2 things you can never be. She said, no, you can't be known as a liar or a stinky boy. And I took that to heart, man. Hey, and I'm telling you, man, I don't play that.
I was just asking.
Yeah,
we can cut that.
Yeah, I don't play that at all, brother. I promise you, man. But we cut up on this CD, man. That was funny.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you.
Yeah, I don't know. On that CD, I was playing Joseph. I did like a Mari, like a "You Are Not the Father," type deal with Joseph and Mary, And dude, it was hilarious. But they did not include the headmaster of the school heard it and would not allow that to be released on the official one that they sold at the school, which is a shame because if it was funny because it was all improv and I'm coming off and I was young and brain works great and I'm just riffing on as like Joseph if he was on Mari, and it's like Mary's pregnant all of a sudden and I'm talking about how I bought her a 3-hump camel and she's going to do me like that and how she's going to run around on me and she's trying her best. This girl was trying her best to keep up, comedically with it so it would match, and it was good. It was funny stuff. And maybe if that would have popped, I would have went further in the direction of comedy on, social media and stuff.
Yeah. I want just to try it.
Yeah.
I got a lot of stories that are really true that I could change just a little bit to make them even more funny.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to do that one night. I don't know there's no really comedy stores around Memphis.
How about I do a joke, you do a joke?
See, I'd have to think about it for a second.
Well,
mine get vulgar, though.
I got a story. I'll tell mine. It's funny. And then maybe if you think of one during that. So I was in 5th grade. I'd seen a program on like Discovery Channel about spontaneous human combustion.
Oh yeah,
where people just
blowing up.
They just blow up, right? And nobody knows how or why. They find like their feet. That's it. And it wasn't caused by a lit cigarette or anything. They just spontaneously combust, right? And it blew my mind. I'm like, this don't make sense. Science can't figure this out. So I'm like, I'm gonna ask my teacher about it next day. So I'm in 5th grade. And I'm a fat, blonde-headed kid, and I walk up to her desk, and I was like, her name was Miss Underwood. And I said, hey, Miss Underwood, Have you ever heard of spontaneous human consumption? I said consumption instead of combustion. Now think about what that sounds like to an adult. You got this fat kid walking up to you, looking at you. Yeah, you ever heard of spontaneous human consumption? Like, is this dude about to take a bite of me or something? And she's looking at me, and she looked at me like freaked out, and I'm looking at her like, what did I say? And I'm like, did I say something? Am I gonna get in trouble? I just seen it on TV, and she's like, no, I've never heard of that. I was like, well, anyways, people just kind of blow up sometimes. But anyways, I'll go back to my desk, and
this little kid's weird as crap.
Dude, can you imagine what she thought? This fat blonde dude walks up and he's like, "You ever heard of spontaneous human consumption?" That's hilarious, man. That's hilarious to think that. Yeah, man. And it was, and my I thought I was saying combustion, blowing up, but I said spontaneous human consumption, man. Spontaneous cannibalism, pretty much. That I couldn't imagine if a kid come up to me. You ever heard of spontaneous human consumption? Did you think of one? Didn't even think of one, did you?
I was just listening to you.
Yeah. Well, I know you got something. Hey, you told me plenty of stories.
Oh yeah.
When something triggers you, you think about it, and it comes up, and then there it is. And you got some good ones, man. You got some, especially your high school stories. Those are,
dude. I can't go there sometimes.
Right. You have to learn how to say that. Yeah. Say some of them.
Yeah, because some of my girls watch this.
Yeah, and that's me too. Like I obviously I was bad enough to get kicked out. I didn't do drugs or nothing like that or party or nothing in high school. I used
to love to party.
It was hypocrisy for me. I couldn't stand hypocrisy. And it was supposed to be a Christian school, and so I would see it, on a daily basis. And I was reading my Bible, and I'm reading what Jesus is saying. I'm hearing what they're saying, and it don't add up, and I'm going to call you out on it. Actually, did that enough to where, and there was plenty of times where I was actually bad, like did some bad things. And, I skipped my class one time just to go hang out with my girlfriend in her class. Now, her teacher there, her teacher had a son who was a local rapper, comedy rapper, and she sold his CDs at our school. And there was plenty of vulgarities in it and everything. So I was like, well,
he said I can.
She's not gonna get the drop on me because got the drop on her. I mean, we're all in this together, right? So she ain't gonna. But she called me out in that class, and she said, Adam, now it's in your class. You got to get up and get to where you're supposed to go. And I thought, you gonna do me like that? After handing out these CDs, I'm thinking in my head like. So I walked to her door. I walked out, and I said, it's some bullshit. And I slammed the door. The wrong thing to do. Don't do that, obviously, right? But so I go to my class like. Nothing's going wrong, And then about, 10 minutes later, principal come walking there. Hey, come on.
Yep.
I'm like, oh, man. 3 days suspension. There it is. Right there. Enough of those. They don't invite you back. Yep. Even if your parents pay the bill.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, trust me. Me and my brother both got kicked out the same year. My dad was mad because he paid up front. I don't know that he ever got his money back.
He paid up front. Yeah, y'all was in trouble.
And I think it was about $13,000 a piece.
Mm-hmm. See, our little ghetto private school wasn't no $13,000. It was cheaper than that, but still. But kind of find out. Well, it's funny because the first part of my junior year, I hit the books hard. I took on extra classes. I paid for my own ACT prep book at the Barnes and Noble.
Yeah,
read it myself. I signed up for ACT algebra classes at the University of Memphis, paid for myself. I was really into it. And a lot of my friends, we all grew up together. So we were little. Well, a lot of them were girls and they were seniors. Well, the girls team at this high school, they were 3-time state champions. Now, this was going to be their last year to go to state. Now, I never got to go travel and watch them. I was just trying to get the boys team good enough to where we could go with them.
Yeah.
And we ended up getting screwed out of that because our coach in the preseason, you're supposed to meet up in the preseason and agree to the games. And the coach did that for the girls team, but he did it for the boys team because the girls were champs and we weren't. So the last game we played, if we were supposed to play Briarcrest, and we could have beat Briarcrest. But since it wasn't set in stone, they put us against Christian Brothers. They're number one. Like, there was no way we could have beat them.
You.
So at least I could go travel to see the girls play. My friends that I literally grown up with from like kindergarten, first grade, I just want to go see them. That's a once in a lifetime opportunity. This is the last time. They're seniors. This is it. And I took off time from work, my little Kroger job. I set back money. I think I was 17. Aaron was like 19. Had a pickup truck. We got a booked hotel room. I mean, full out. Like I was going. I wasn't asking for permission. Well, the principal had done. My girlfriend was on the girls' team. He thought, and he spun it to my mom like, oh, they're trying to sneak off away together in Smyrna, Tennessee. Yeah. And he don't need to do that. And so my parents wouldn't let me do it. And I pitched a fit. Temper tantrum, I was 17, and I didn't, tear anything up. I literally looked like a 4-year-old jumping up and down going, this is stupid, I won't go, Yeah. And me and my dad locked horns that night. And then after that, I was like, I ain't worried about all this schoolwork. I mean, you know what? I'm going to show my ass the rest of the year. And I did. And I ended up paying the price, got kicked out. But since I had taken all those classes, I only needed 1 credit to graduate. That's all I needed. So I went over to Gateway, and I took me like 6 English tests. I needed senior English. I took 6 of those little tests, passed, and whatever Gateway gives you, I don't know if it's a GED or equivalent or something.
It's equivalent.
Okay, I got that, and that was it. And then I was working.
Only reason I got kicked out. I'm not gonna say why I got kicked out right here, but I got kicked out for being a knucklehead, and I was in 10th or 11th grade. We did books, basically. It was basically homeschool, but you worked out of books. You graduated out of one, you got into that class.
Right.
So school was never really a bother for me. It was like, why? It's busy work to me.
Right.
Well, when I got kicked out, I went back to South Haven. Well, it was a 9-credited school. So I had to go back to 9th grade. Mm-hmm. And I was like, I'm not going back to 9th. I'm not redoing all this crap that I've done. Mm-hmm. So I showed my ass. Mm-hmm. Didn't have to do anything. I was cutting class, hanging out with my buddies. We were skipping, just doing whatever. Yeah. Busy work is all it was. Finally, I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm going to go sign up for Gateway. Yeah. Signed up for Gateway. Went one day. Never went back. Yeah. And was like, piss on this. Yeah. Didn't even do anything. I was a little fat knucklehead that just worked for my dad. Right. He owned the tree business, and I just worked for him. So it's kind of like, well, I'm going to do manual labor my whole life. I already know this. Right. Well, when I wanted to go to the police department, you had to have a GED. Mm-hmm. So that made me go get my GED. Well, I would start going to Northwest, the college, to go get my GED because that's where you would go. I was out of school for 5 years before I ever decided to go get it. Wow. And the only reason I did was because Memphis, you had to have a GED. Right. Or high school diploma. Well, I went, and I was like, man, I went for 2 days in the week, and I'm like, I hate this. Like, I hate going somewhere, doing stupid busy work for something that really don't matter. Right. In hindsight, well, I'd quit. Go back a year later, I'm like, all right, let's try this again, do it again. Go a week or two, and I'm like, bro, this sucks. Like, I can't do it. Well, there happened to be a hurricane hitting Texas. I don't remember what hurricane it was, but it decimated Texas. And I told the lady, I was like, look, I said, she's like, she, I can't remember her name, but she was always, I really want you to come in here and do this. I believe in you. I know you can do this. She was an advocate. She was right. She was a good educator. Right. She wanted you to be there. And I looked at her and I was like, my dad owns a tree business. We're going to work the hurricane. That's where I'm going. And she's like, will you take a practice test? I was like, yeah, I'll take your practice test. This is so stupid. Well, I passed the practice test. And she looked at me and she's like, if I let you skip all of it, because you had to go 3 days a week for an hour or 2 hours a week. Yeah. You had to be there for, I think, 6 weeks, and then they would allow you to go. She's like, you've scored high enough that I can bypass this, but can you come back and take a test for your GED? Can you take the GED test? And I said, yeah, I can come back. We ended up not going to Texas. I lied about it because I just did not want to do all this stupid work.
Yeah.
I took her practice test. I aced it. And I scored high enough that I didn't even have to pay for my test. If you scored above a certain amount, they would pay for it. And if you failed, you had to pay for it again. So like 2 months later, she's like, I need you to be in Senatobia at that college to go and do your test. I showed up, take all my tests. I'm like, that was really easy.
Yeah.
Got my letter and got my GED in the mail, scored above average on everything.
Right. Got
a full ride scholarship to Northwest. Didn't have to pay out of pocket for nothing.
Nice.
For 2 years. I could get a 2 year, then I could go to a university.
Right.
I was so stupid. I was like, nah. In hindsight, I should have taken advantage of it.
Right.
Even if I would have got, some other kind of degree. Because if for some reason I do go into the aviation work, I have to have a degree. Well, they've taken it away, but it's really, really encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
So you can go get a 2 year bachelor's degree in anything, and they'll accept it. I could go get one in art, which, as you can tell me, I'm a big artsy fan.
Yeah.
But, I would like to, if I'm going to go to college, I'm at least going to do something that would better me, like a business degree or something. Yeah. But
do you spend a lot of time, like, people have their own hang-ups about things. I found that there's people who worry about the future or they regret the past. I found people who worry about the future. They tend to be more like risk adverse, like me, and have anxiety about the stuff. But I can't look back at any part. I'm not the type to look back on any part of my life and like get hung up or have regrets. Oh, I should have done that. If I would have only done this, you imagine where I could be now. I don't spend, and there are people who do. Yeah. That's the only reason I bring it up is there are people who they get caught up in woulda, shoulda, coulda.
Yeah.
Instead of worrying, and a lot of times they're not worried about the now or the future.
There are things that I do regret.
Right.
My son is a huge regret that I have. I've told you about that.
Mm-hmm.
That is a huge regret I have. At the time, I thought I was doing right. Hindsight, I found out I'm doing wrong. I regret not pursuing aviation further then, but I don't oh no, somebody held me back, But looking at the future, I don't stress the future.
Yeah.
I have plans for the future. I want to meet my goals for them plans, but I know things happen.
Yeah, right.
To set I don't I know people die, people have life happens, so I don't really get hung up on that because I have a life that I have to live. I have to go forward.
Right.
If you stay in this stagnant pool,
mm-hmm.
you never move forward. And I don't stress it. There's things that I stress that I'm I'm not where I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
I should be further advanced in where I want to be.
Yeah.
I want to take my business to another level. Every time I try, something happens,
mm-hmm.
whether it be within my control or without of my control. But I just put my head down and I just keep doing what I got to do to keep powering through.
Mm-hmm.
I try not to stay stagnant.
Yeah.
I get caught up in it.
Right.
I definitely get caught up in it.
Being caught up and hung up are two different things. Yeah.
But I try to push forward. The big stuff, I don't sweat.
Yeah. Right.
And it's the dumb little stuff that gets me. I don't know. Being a better dad, I try, and then my daughter will instantly piss me off, and then I'm like, oh, blah, 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 just, that kind of stuff. But
I told my youngest the other day, I said, let me tell you what, I said, if you was a boy, I said, me and you lock horns.
Oh, yeah.
I told her that, and she said, really? What do you mean, Dad? I said, let me tell you something.
I'm gonna punch your face off your face is what that means.
What I said, listen. I said, y'all are used to this version of me. Y'all have only ever been. I said, even when you see me get mad, that's me getting upset through a filter.
Yeah.
Towards y'all, I said, now towards men or boy, and that be my own son. I'm like, you see a different side of me, you know. Yeah. But yeah, just talk about that on the last end. But I tend to lean too much in the future, like care too, because I'm risk averse and I got to figure it out and worried about that. But nothing in the past really comes up and haunts me or wants me to.
I sleep well.
Yeah, right.
I do. I mean,
yeah.
I don't get hung up in the like. I don't get. There's a couple things that bother me, but they don't hold me down.
Well, that's good. As long as you sleep good, you know. Yeah, good sleep.
Well, you know, somewhat good sleep.
With the not hazmat, was the
the CPAP.
CPAP, that's it. CPAP.
Man,
yeah.
I'm wearing the nose thing now, but now I'm breathing again through my mouth. So I just got used to the nose.
Yeah,
and that was working great. And now I'm opening my mouth and snoring again. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Man. So now I got to wear a freaking Darth Vader mask, I guess.
Yeah. Well.
Yeah, I guess we better shut this one
down.
Better
wrap it up.
We were struggling at first, and then we just kind of went into it.
Hit a couple of strides and took off with it.
Again, thank you for coming.
Yeah, man.
I appreciate you.
It was fun.
I do enjoy this. I want to do this again. I really want to get somebody in here so we can just banter, like just bull crap.
I got a buddy.
I think Tercelli would be a good one.
Oh, yeah.
We'd have to bleep a lot out.
We would, and what would happen was you two would eventually do what y'all used to and jump on my ass. That's what would happen. And start firing me up, and it'd be 2 against 1.
No, it wouldn't.
And I'd be sitting here all pouty-faced.
No, you wouldn't. We'd all be getting into it. Well, I appreciate you again.
Yeah, man. It's fun.
Let's plan another one.
Let's do it.
All right, brother.